Hello, friends. We will talk about the greenhouse effect and climate change today. So, before proceeding, I would like to make sure that please subscribe if you have not still subscribed. So, make sure you have subscribed the channel. You will get the latest video on various topic in upcoming days. So, we move the greenhouse effect and climate change. Okay, let's start. Greenhouse effect is a process. Greenhouse effect is a process to obtain suitable temperature for plantation no of heating the atmosphere by absorption of the infrared radiation by atmospheric carbon dioxide, because atmospheric carbon dioxide act as an absorption of the, so they trap the heat, and that is responsible for the heating the whole its environment, by which barren mountain no, in which deep water stream no. Next question is greenhouse effect means. Yeah, this is also same. The definition of the greenhouse effect is increase in atmospheric temperature due to the concentration of greenhouse gases at the atmosphere. ये क्या कर देते हैं? This increases the temperature of the atmosphere. How? By capturing the insolation, that is incoming solar radiation. So capturing the incoming solar radiation and trapped in the atmosphere, it increases the temperature of the atmosphere. In this way, greenhouse effect seen. Next question. What is greenhouse effect? This is also a same question, and with only the definition of the question. Greenhouse effect definition: increase in temperature of Earth due to the concentration of gases in the atmosphere. This is the correct answer. The concept of greenhouse gas was postulated by who have given the this phenomena greenhouse effect, greenhouse gas concept. Greenhouse gas concept is mainly given by Joseph Fourier. Joseph Fourier. Uh, if you want to know, this is given in 1820s. So this concept is very old concept. Next question is greenhouse effect is enhanced in the environment due to greenhouse effect is enhanced. Increase, it became larger or higher in the concentration because of carbon dioxide. That means carbon dioxide trap more heats. Next question, which of the following group of gases contribute to the greenhouse effect? The group of gases, we have to just find out the group of gases: ammonia and ozone. Ozone is the gas that prevent a lot of ultraviolet rays, UV rays, which are very dangerous for our skin, plant and other animals. So that's why ozone layer is one of the most important part of our atmosphere to protect animal and plant kingdom on earth. It reflects the hazardous UV rays from its layer. So this cannot consider as the greenhouse gas contribution. Carbon monoxide and sulfur dioxide, these are not the mm, greenhouse gas. Carbon tetrafluoride and nitrous oxide, these are not also. Carbon dioxide is and methane, these are the highly contributing greenhouse gas. That's why greenhouse effect is seen due to these gases. So this is the correct answer. This little bit deep dive. Relative contribution of greenhouse gases. World Meteorological Organization greenhouse gas bulletin 2024 are as follows. Okay. So what is given? Carbon dioxide. It has 66% contribution in the greenhouse gas. Methane 16%. So which one is the largest? Carbon dioxide is one of the largest contributor in the greenhouse gases. Nitrous oxide only 6%, chlorofluorocarbons and others only 12%. So carbon and methane are two major contributing gases in the greenhouse gas. Next question. The relative contribution of different greenhouse gases to global warming is given below. Identify the incorrect pair. This is methane. Methane, we have already seen. Methane is 16% of nitrous oxide. We have seen 6% of what is to identify correct pair. Carbon dioxide, which is the largest one, 66%, and here what we can see only 40% carbon dioxide. So this is the correct answer. Which of the following gas has highest contribution in global warming? So I have already seen that carbon dioxide, CO2 have 66% contribution in global warming. are greenhouse effect phenomena. Okay, go further. What will be the decreasing order of the following which contribute to the greenhouse? So what will be the decreasing order? So first of all, we will have to test which is highest. S- Carbon dioxide, which is 66%. So where this option cannot be written because there is a carbon dioxide in the middle. So first of all, first number carbon dioxide, second number CH4, which is methane. Methane at the second number. Then the CH4, yeah, this cannot be done. Then carbon dioxide, CH4. Then CFC, chlorofluorocarbons. Chlorofluorocarbons. The third number CFCs, which is chlorofluorocarbon. So A is the correct answer. After that, nitrous oxide. Next question. Which one of the following naturally occurring greenhouse gases causes the highest percentage of the greenhouse effect? This is also a rifting questions. So no explanation needed. Carbon dioxide is the correct answer. The main component of greenhouse gas is carbon dioxide. No explanation needed. 66% its contribution. The next one is which one of the following is not responsible for global warming? Not responsible for global warming. Methane is responsible. Argon is responsible. Carbon dioxide is highly responsible. So which one is? Argon is not responsible. Water vapor also responsible because water vapor trap also energy. And if you have seen vapor burns vapor burns more than 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 only fire. If you burn yourself from fire, you will burn less. But when you will burn from vapor, you will burn more because not only here. I mean, not fire means boiling water. Uh, Sorry for that. Yeah, boiling water. If you will burn by boiling water, then you will burn more. We will burn less while burning from the vapor. You will burn more because vapor have latent heat of energy added. So that is why here argon is not a contributing gas are responsible for the global warming. So next question. Which one of the following is not a greenhouse gas? We know greenhouse gas carbon dioxide. We know greenhouse gas chlorofluorocarbon. We know greenhouse gas methane. So argon is not a greenhouse gas. Argon is not a greenhouse gas. So which one is the correct option? So A is the correct option. C is the correct option. What is greenhouse effect? So this is the definition also. Repeating question. A lot of questions have been asked from this chapter. So increase in global temperature is the greenhouse gas. Next question. Which one of the following substance does not contribute to the global warming directly? Global warming directly. Methane and carbon dioxide and water vapor are major contributing factor for the global warming. So oxides of sulfur and nitrogen. Oxides like sulfur dioxides, nitrous oxide, you nitrogen dioxide and nitrous oxide. These are the these substances does not directly impact the global warming. So the A is the correct option. Which one of the following is not a greenhouse gas found naturally in the atmosphere? We know carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas, methane is a greenhouse gas, nitrous oxide. We have already seen that nitrous oxide, oxide of sulfur and nitrogen is not a greenhouse gas. So nitrous oxide is not a greenhouse gas naturally found in the atmosphere. Okay. Ozone is itself a greenhouse gas. Ozone is itself a greenhouse gas. Ozone means O3. This is itself is a greenhouse gas. Next question. Ozone and water vapor are the most important greenhouse gases found naturally in the atmosphere. Okay. Next question is the gas which is produced by the paddy field. This is one of the most important question frequently asked in the various examination. The gas which is produced by the paddy field and is involved in the global warming is a highly mm, mm, depleting substance, that is methane. Which set of the following gases is most important for the greenhouse effect? So you will have to find out substances or gases for responsible for the greenhouse effect. So carbon dioxide, methane both have nitrous oxide is not a greenhouse gas effect contribute. Nitrous oxide is not a contributing greenhouse gas. Carbon dioxide will, yes. Methane, yes. Nitrous oxide, yeah. Ethane, water vapor contribute, but nitrous oxide is a very less, very less. So this carbon dioxide, methane is the most prominent gases. Water vapor are most prominent. Nitrous oxide is a very less contributing in greenhouse gas effect. So see the correct answer. Here oxides have sulfur and ethane. Ethane is not a impacting, highly impacting gas for greenhouse effect. Next one is, which one of the following gas is responsible for global warming? So which one is the oxygen and carbon dioxide? Oxygen, carbon dioxide and methane. This is the correct answer. Next question. Which of the following is responsible for global warming? Which is methane, carbon dioxide, water vapor, all of the above. All of the above is responsible. The gases most responsible for global warming: carbon dioxide and methane, ammonia and butane, carbon dioxide and methane. Which one of the following is not a greenhouse gas? Carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas, methane is a greenhouse gas, ozone is a greenhouse gas, propane is not a greenhouse gas. Which of the following is not greenhouse gas? Carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas, methane is a greenhouse gas, nitrous oxide, nitrogen is not a greenhouse gas. So option D the correct. Nitrous oxide is a greenhouse gas, but its impact is very less. Impact is very, very less. Which of the following is not a greenhouse gas? Methane is a greenhouse gas. Chlorofluorocarbon, CF, are the greenhouse gas. Carbon dioxide is a highly impacting greenhouse gas, and nitrogen is not a greenhouse gas. Which of the following is not greenhouse gas? Means methane, chlorofluorocarbon, nitrous oxide, hydrogen is not a greenhouse gas. Which of the following is not a greenhouse gas? Again, not a greenhouse gas. Oxygen is not a greenhouse gas. Which is not greenhouse gas? Methane is a greenhouse gas. CFC is a greenhouse gas. Sulfur dioxide is a greenhouse gas. Nitrous oxide is a greenhouse gas. So none of these is the correct answer. Next question. Which one of the following atmospheric changes take place due to the greenhouse effect? What happens? Greenhouse gas increases in the carbon dioxide concentration in atmosphere, increasing the humidity in the atmosphere, increasing the biological population, increasing the wind speed, increasing the carbon dioxide concentration in the is the correct answer. So, but this is not a correct answer as it is shown in the uh, means comparatively this option is best suited among other three. Either you can consider or because here increase in carbon dioxide concentration is not the correct statement. It should be increase in temperature. It should be increase in temperature. Next question. The increasing amount of carbon dioxide in the air is slowly raising the temperature of the atmosphere because it absorbs what? Carbon dioxide. What do carbon dioxide? The water vapor of air and retain its heat. The ultraviolet part of solar radiation, all the solar radiations, and infrared part of the solar radiation. So infrared part of the solar radiation and IR infrared part is responsible for the okay water vapor air. This is not the ultraviolet part of the solar radiation. Most of this part is reflected by the ozone layer, and remaining part come to the earth and then absorbed by the carbon dioxide that increases the temperature. So you can see here molecule of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere can absorb up to 90% of the infrared radiations. Next question. Climate change is caused by greenhouse gas. Yes, from greenhouse gas climate change happens. Depletion of ozone layer also responsible. Pollution also responsible. So all of the above is responsible for the climate change. The main reason for climate change is greenhouse gas, depletion of ozone layer, pollution, and all of the above. Again, repeating this question. Next question is, which one of the following gases is both harmful as well as beneficial to life on Earth? So what is that? That is carbon dioxide. Why it is harmful? Because it traps infrared radiation that increases the temperature of the atmosphere. That is why it is harmful. But on the other hand, it is absorbed by plant, which is the base for the life on the earth, and release oxygen, which is necessary for all human beings. as well as all animal kingdom, not only humans but animal also. So this is harmful impact, but this is beneficial impact of the carbon dioxide. So which of the following statement best describe carbon fertilization? What is the carbon fertilization? First of all, the fertilization itself is the growth increaser. So increased plant growth due to increased concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Increased plant carbon fertilization means increased plant growth due to the increased concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. It does not carbon fertilization is not responsible for increased temperature, not responsible for increased acidity, not responsible for all living being on earth change brought by the increased concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. So A is the correct option. Next one, which of the following are the primary cause of climate change? Which of the following are the primary cause of climate change? Excessive burning of fossil fuel. This is responsible for climate change. Exploding number of automobile driven by oil. Also, this is responsible increasing solar flare. This does not happen on the earth, but increasing solar flare impact can be seen in the deep space, not on earth. Heavy deforestation, this is also responsible. So which one is the correct option? 1 to 4 means 1 to 4, this is the correct option. Consider the following: carbon monoxide, methane, ozone and sulfur dioxide. Which of the above are released into atmosphere due to the burning of crop biomass residue? This is one of the important question. What is released during burning of crop? So that is carbon monoxide. Why? Because unburned uh, residue generate carbon monoxide. Methane also released because paddy is the one of the most responsible for the methane release. Ozone is also released, and sulfur dioxide. So all of the above is the correct answer. Next question. Which among the following gases is most responsible for global warming? So definitely carbon dioxide. Global warming is caused due to the emission of carbon dioxide. Where is the carbon dioxide? Carbon dioxide. The apprehension of global warming is aggravated by increased concentration in the atmosphere of which one is the carbon dioxide is the responsible factor. The global warming is due to the increase in temperature. Global warming due to the increase in carbon dioxide. Increase in carbon dioxide. Okay. Which of the following is considered to be the optimum concentration of carbon dioxide for natural balance in atmosphere? So uh, optimum percentage concentration of carbon dioxide 0.03%. Next question, consider the following: rice field, coal mining, domestic animals and wetland. What are these? Which of the above is source of methane? Source of methane. So rice field is also source of methane. Coal mining will also source of methane. Domestic animals because they change when their domestic animal chewing their food, they releases a lot of methane. And wetland also one of the main source of generating methane because methane have CH4 and these are wetland have enormous water and carbon, then they easily make CH4 and generate it. So what is the correct option? So D is the correct option. 1, 2, 3, 4. So methane is emitted from which of the following? Paddy fields only? Uh, no, not only paddy fields. Termite paddy fields they generate uh, they generate methane. Termitory they also generate methane. So which one is the correct? C, both from A and B. You can see from home and businesses, methane is generated from the decomposition of the waste in landfills. The gas which is emitted in the paddy field not increases the earth's temperature is methane, and the gas which is emitted in the paddy field is methane and increase the earth temperature, which is responsible for global warming. Which gas is this? This is a methane. The gas which is produced by paddy field, methane. Among the following crops, which one of the most important atmospheric source of both methane and nitrous oxide? Rice. Paddy field generate methane and rice is the nitrous oxide. Greenhouse gas liberated by the chewing animal is methane. I have already said. Methane is also called as Mars gas. Keep in mind, which is source biogas. Human activities in the recent past have caused the increased concentration of the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, but a lot of it does not remain in the lower atmosphere because of it escape into the outer stratosphere. No, the photosynthesis by photoplanktons in ocean. This is the phytoplanktons do photosynthesis by absorbing the carbon dioxide. Okay, next question is, which of the following statements are correct about the deposit of methane hydrate? Methane hydrate. So global warming might trigger the release of methane gas from these deposits. Correct. Large deposit of methane hydrate are found in Arctic tundra under the seafloor. Large bodies of methane hydrate are found in the Arctic tundra under the seafloor. And methane is atmosphere oxidizes to carbon dioxide after a decade or two. So this is the correct option. Next question. Due to their extensive rice cultivation, some regions may be contributing to global warming. To what possible regions are this attributable? In Arabic condition associated with rice cultivation cause the emission of methane. When nitrogen-based fertilizer are used, nitrogen oxide is emitted from the cultivated soil. Yes, so option C the correct option. Next question. As a result of global warming, there has been better global communication. How can it be possible better global communication? Melting of glacier, yes. Flowering of mango tree before times, yes. Adverse effect on health, yes. So which one is it? 2, 3 and 4. 2, 3 and 4 be the correct answer. Which of the following are the impact of global warming? Rise in sea level, yes. Melting of glacier, yes. Spread of disease, yes. Bleaching of coral reef, yes. So D the correct option. So next one. Which of the following is the most fragile ecosystem that will be first affected by the global warming? So what is that? That is Arctic and Greenland ice sheet. First ice sheet will start melting. So the scientific view is that increase in the global temperature should not exceed 2 degrees Celsius above the pre-industrial level. If the global temperature increases beyond 3 degrees Celsius above the pre-industrial level, what can be its possible impact on the world? So what will be the impact on world? So the terrestrial biosphere tends towards a net carbon source. Terrestrial biosphere tends towards a net carbon source. Yes, widespread coral mortality will occur. Yes, all the coral will be die. But the global wetland will permanently disappear. This is not going to happen, and the cultivation of cereals will not be possible anywhere in the world. Not so. First and second. So be the correct option. Next one is, as a result of the global warming, the frequency and severity of which of the following are increasing due to the global warming? Cyclones only, storms only, no. Hurricanes only, no. This only word always try to make the question incorrect. So what will be the correct option? All of the above. Next one is, which of the following represent the average increase in Earth's temperature during the last century? So 0.9 degrees Celsius. This is point of remembering. How much has the global average temperature risen in the last century? So 1.8 degree Fahrenheit. That is 1 degree Celsius. Next question. Without greenhouse effect, the average temperature of Earth's surface would be. If there will be no greenhouse effect, then what will be the temperature of the Earth's surface? That will be minus 18 degrees Celsius. So greenhouse effect is necessary for the living on the Earth. Next question. What would happen if phytoplankton of an ocean is completely destroyed for a reason? So what will happen? The ocean as a carbon sink. Why this is a carbon sink? Because phytoplanktons absorb carbon dioxides, would be adversely affected. Correct. The food chain in the ocean would be adversely affected. Correct. The density of ocean water would drastically decrease. There is no relation in density of ocean water. So 1 and 2 is the correct option. So A and A is the correct option. Which of the following statement regarding global warming are correct? Melting of polar ice cap and subsequent rise in the sea level is the most important effect of the global warming. Correct. The sea level is likely to rise by 1 meter by 2070 AD if the present level of the global warming is not controlled. Wrong. All the coral islands in the world will be submerged. Correct. And by 2044 AD, Fiji is likely to be submerged and rise in a sea level by the same year will pose grave danger to the Netherlands. Yes, 3, 4 is the correct option. Next one is, Which of the following regions caused catastrophic coral bleaching and mass coral death in the Andaman and Nicobar Island? Increase of 2 degrees Celsius temperature in the Indian Ocean. Now let's talk about the climate change. Which one of the following gas is not a greenhouse gas? Which not is carbon dioxide is highly affecting, methane is highly affecting. Oxygen can be considered as not a greenhouse gas, but oxide of the nitrogen is also a greenhouse gas. But this is a debatable question, so leave it as it is. Today, the largest contributor to carbon dioxide emission is which one is the largest contributor to the carbon dioxide emission is the China. Which of the following countries is the largest emitter of carbon dioxide is the China. Which of the following is known as carbon negative country in the world? Carbon negative country, that is Bhutan. Bhutan is a very environment friendly and does not emit a lot of carbon. Which reference to net zero global for 2050? Which of the following statement is correct? It means that the country will bring down its emission to zero by 2050. No, emission will not be zero, but it will be balanced. The net emission will be zero, not emission will be zero. So net emission will be zero because emission will be compensated by some other means. It means that a country's emission will be compensated by absorption and removal of the greenhouse gas from the atmosphere. Yes, this is the so which one is the correct? Which is the correct option? What is net zero? Net zero means which is also referred as the carbon neutrality. Does not means that the country would bring down its emission to zero. Rather, net zero is the state in which country's emission is compensated by absorption and removal of greenhouse gases from the atmosphere. So, i- in suppose someone emit kg, then it absorb also 10 kg, then that will be zero like this. Next question. Consider the following activities: spreading finely ground basalt rock on farmland extensively, increasing the alkalinity of the ocean by adding lime and capturing carbon dioxide released by various industrial when pumping it into the abundant subterranean mine in the form of the carbonated water. How many of the above activities are often considered as discarded for the carbon capture and sequencing and sequestrance, which is spreading finely ground basalt rock on farmland extensively? This is good practice. Increasing the alkalinity of water by adding lime. This is also good. Carbon capturing carbon dioxide by released by the various. Also, this is the so all is the three are the carbon capture and sequestration process. Next one is what was India's rank in the world greenhouse gas emission in 2022? So this is the latest question. That was 10. Which human activity is most affected by the climate? Climate will be farming. A lot of today's farming production are based on the rainwater. Climate change is leading to an increase in social tension in India. Social tension in India is not. Climate change is leading to an increase in social tension in India, yes. Because now you can see Delhi is the example of it. Delhi people are making protest. The frequency and intensity of the extreme weather event will have serious repercussion on food security. So A is the correct option. Which of the following is not related to the astronomical theories of the climate change? The scientist study of the orbit astronomical theories. The centricity of Earth's orbit is an astronomical theory. Obliquity of the Earth's rotational axis is a astronomical theory. Processing of equinox. Precision of equinox is a astronomical theory. Solar irradiation. Solar irradiation is not a astronomical theory. So D is the correct answer. Sun's radiation coming to Earth is termed as the solar insolation or solar irradiation. Next question. Who has suggested that shifting Earth on its axis is one of the factors responsible for the climate change? That Milutin Milankovic. Milutin Milankovic, कौन से Serbian geophysicist थे and astronomer Milutin Milankovic. Which one of the following provides the cryogenic indicator of the climate change? So I score. I score provide the cryogenic indicator of climate change. I score. What is I score is the core sample that is typically removed from the ice sheet, most commonly for the polar ice cap of Antarctica, Greenland, for the high USA hectares. Okay. Next question. Consider the following agricultural practices: contour bunding, relay cropping, zero tillage. In the context of the global climate change, which of the following will help in carbon sequencing and storage? Contour bunding, yes. Relay cropping, yes. Zero tillage, yes. These are used for the carbon sequencing practices. So, see the correct option. Yes, you can see relay cropping means that a new crop is planted sown before the previous one is harvested. So, it is done like uh, before wheat, we do not cut paddy. So, when paddy is in the field, we sow wheat. That is relay cropping. Zero tillage means no harming the soil. Plow. We do not plow the soil. Next question. In the context of India's preparation for climate smart agriculture, consider the following statement. Climate smart vision approach in India is a part of the project. The project Climate Smart Agriculture is carried out under the consultative group of International Agricultural Research Headquarters, and the International Crop Research Institute of the Semi-Arid Tropic in India is one of the CIR's research center. Yes. So D is the correct option. Next question. In the context of mitigating the impeding global warming,
Not I do believe elected.
warming due to atmospheric emission of the carbon dioxide, which of the following can be potential site for the carbon sequencing? Abundant and uneconomic coal seams. Yes. Depleted oil and gas reservoirs. Yes. And subterranean deep saline formation. Yes. So these are the correct answer. In rural road construction, the use of which of the following is preferred for ensuring environmental sustainability or reduce carbon footprint? Copper slag, reduce carbon footprint. Copper slag, yes. We use copper slag in road, decreases carbon footprint. Cold mix asphalt technology, yes. Geotextile, yes. Mix asphalt technology, no. Portland cement, no. This does not help in reducing carbon footprint. So which one is the correct? Option A is the correct. 1, 2, 3. Which of the following statements are true regarding the member of Asia Pacific Partnership? Their population account to 45% of the world population. Yes. Asia Pacific Partnership, their population 45%. They consume the world 48% of energy. Yes. They contribute nearly 48% of the world's greenhouse gases. Yes. They intend to support the Kyoto Protocol. No. So 1, 2, 3 is the correct option. 1, 2, 3, V is the correct option. Climate. Let's talk about climate change conference. The United Nations Convention on Climate Change, ratified by more than 50 countries, became effective on UNFCCC became effective on Earth Summit Rio de Janeiro from 3 to 14 June 1992. Came into force on 21st of March 1994. So made on 1992 with effect from 1994. So March 21, 1994. After 2 years. With reference to the agreement of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, meeting Paris in 2015, which of the following statements is correct? So the agreement was signed by all the member countries of the United Nations. No, the agreement aimed to limit the greenhouse gas emissions so that the rise in average global temperature by the end of this century does not exceed. Yes. So 2 is the correct option because here is no such thing mentioned in that convention. Next question. Where was the climate change conference held in the year 2015? So this is a current affair question of that time. But if you know, this is was happened in Paris. So which of the following United Nations climate change conference was held in Paris? So which one is? That is 21st. In the year 2021, where was the 26th United Nations climate change conference COP26 held? Glasgow. COP26 where? Glasgow. COP21 was held in Paris. What is not true about the commitment made by the India at COP26 conference? That is, by 2030, India will meet 60% of its total energy requirement by renewable energy. This was the commitment made by the India at the COP26 conference. The UNFCCC is an international treaty drawn at United Nations Conference on Environment and Development, Rio de Janeiro, 1992. Stockholm, no. No. Momentum for Change, Climate Neutral Now is an initiative launched by, this was the current affair question launched by United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change Secretariat UNFCCC. The United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change deals with Reduction in fossil fuel uses, no. Carbon dioxide emission mitigation, no at all. Reduction in the uranium production, no. Greenhouse gas emission mitigation, none of the above, more than the above. Stabilizing greenhouse gas. So you cannot only one consider, you can consider more. Reducing fossil fuel usage, yes. Carbon dioxide emission mitigation, yes. So reduction in the uranium production, you can say yes. You can say yes. And greenhouse gas emission mitigation, yes. So all of the above. No, all these are the wrong. Right is the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change deals with reduction greenhouse gas emission mitigation. Next question. Which of the following statement is incorrect for green climate funding? So it was established in the Durban Conference on Climate Change. No. Greenhouse Climate Fund was firmly established during the 2010 United Nations Climate Change Conference in Cancun, Mexico, not a Durban Conference. Which of the following statement regarding the Green Climate Fund is correct? It is intended to assist the developing country adaptation and mitigation practices to counter climate change. Yes, it is found under the aegis of United Nations Environment Program, OECD, Asian Development Bank, and World Bank. No. So, is the correct option. That consider the following statement regarding Earth on Earth. Earth का है? It is initiative of United Nations UNESCO. No. It is a moment in which the participants switch off the light for 1 hour and on a certain day every year. Yes. It is movement to raise awareness about climate change and the need to save the planet. Yes. So 2 and 3 the correct option. Where is the 2 and 3? See the correct option. United Nations Climate Action Summit 2019 was held at which of the following cities? 2019. You can leave it because this was the current affair of the time. Next question is scientists of Manchester University recently suggested controlling global warming by cloud brightening over the Pacific Ocean through geoengineering. Which of the following is used for this? That is sea water. We will talk about the Kyoto Protocol and other protocols. Just to that, Kyoto Protocol is related to climate change. Kyoto Protocol, climate. Like Kyoto is a place in Japan, and Varanasi is termed as a Kyoto, and these are the termed as for the climate change. Kyoto Protocol is related to climate change. Consider the following statement. Kyoto Protocol came into force in the year 2005. Kyoto Protocol deals with primarily with the ozone layer. No, it is deals with the climate change. Methane, as the greenhouse gas, is more harmful than carbon dioxide. Greenhouse gas is more harmful than carbon dioxide. Methane more harmful. That means methane have more ozone depletion potential. Carbon dioxide has less ozone depletion potential, but carbon dioxide has most contribution while methane has less. Not in 2000. Protocol was adopted in 1987 but came into force in 2005. Next one is which of the following is not correctly matched? Which of the following is not correctly matched? Cartagena Protocol related to Cartagena Protocol biosafety. Stockholm Convention related to the persistent organic pollutant. Stockholm Convention. Montreal Protocol ozone layer. Kyoto Protocol climate change. Montreal Protocol ozone layer. So next question. In the year 1997, the World Environment Conference was organized in Kyoto. Here, which of the following statement is not true about CDM? Clean Development Mechanism. CDM, Clean Development Mechanism. What is it? It controls greenhouse emission. No. It reduces the global warming. No. Kyoto Protocol suggests for the assessment of the sustainable development of it. No. It prohibits developed countries from investing in projects in developing countries. That is CDM, Clean Development Mechanism. What is greenhouse gas protocol? So it is a international accounting tool for government and business leader to understand, quantify, and manage greenhouse gas emission. Yes, that is a greenhouse protocol. Consider the following statement. Kyoto Protocol came into force in the 2005. Yes, Kyoto Protocol primarily deals with the reducing overall greenhouse emission. Yes, so carbon dioxide is 5 times more effective as a greenhouse gas than methane. No, so 1 and 2 is the correct option. In the context of carbon dioxide emission and global warming, what is the name of the market driven device under the UNFCCC that allow deploying countries to get funds and incentives from the developed countries to adopt better technology that reduces greenhouse gas emission, which is Carbon footprint no, carbon credit rating no, clean development mechanism, that is CDM, clean development mechanism. The next one is consider the following statement: clean development mechanism is in respect of carbon credit in one of the Kyoto Protocol mechanism. Yes, under CDM the projects handled pertain only to the Annex 1 countries. No. The next one is the common carbon metric supported by the United Nations Environment Program has been developed for assessing the carbon footprint of building operation around the world. 11 is the correct option. A is the correct option. What is blue carbon? Carbon captured by ocean and coastal ecosystem is termed as blue carbon. Consider the following statement: terms of time seen in the news and their origin. Annex 1 countries, CDM, not the Cartagena product, not certified emission reduction, Nagoya protocol, clean development mechanism, Kyoto protocol. This is the correct.